Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct this evening from Black Fact Studio Central here in Kent, Ohio with another scary story. Yes, we're telling scary stories all this month. So get ready, hold on to your seats, and make sure you're sitting down while you're listening to this one so you don't just drop right straight to the ground. But before we get started, you know what we got to do. Number one, give us a like if you're watching on Facebook, a thumbs up if you're watching on the tube. Last but not least, go ahead and spread the word far and wide, because Black Facts will never hide. Meanwhile, our proverb of the day is, let's see what I got over here. If I can find it. Not going to show up over here, is it? Ah, there it goes, maybe. Ah, yes. Okay, here we go. Nope, not going to show up over there. Okay, a smile is nothing but a frown turned upside down. But what happens when that frown just can't be turned around? Then where are we at? Just something for you to think about. A frown and a smile, one is the other, is the same as the other, it's just turned upside down. Meanwhile, our story tonight, coming from the mind of Jackie Torrance, who had so many stories to share with all of us. Unfortunately, she is gone, but her stories still live on. So let's see what she had to say about Elvira, because I think she had something to say about Elvira and Henry. Now, Elvira and Henry lived way out in the country. And Elvira got a letter from her sister saying she was feeling bad and she needed them to come over and help her with her farm. She'd been in bed for 3 weeks and it didn't look like she'd be able to get out and work. The cows needed milking. Elvira said, "Henry, let's go and help my sister." And Henry said, "Well, all right." Elvira said, "Can we go tomorrow?" Henry said, "Well, let's get going before dark." "Oh, all right, Henry," Elvira said. "You hook up Ned and I'll go pack the bag." And Henry said, "Elvira, if you want to go, you pack up that bag and you fix up Ned too." She said, "Oh, all right." So Elvira packed the bag and hooked Ned up to the wagon and they took off up the road. 2 weeks they spent with Elvira's sister until finally she was up and well. And she said, "Elvira, I thank you so much for you and Henry coming over. I feel real good. I'm going to be able to take care of everything myself now." "Oh," Elvira said, "you're going to be all right?" "Oh, yes," her sister said. So Elvira went to Henry. "Henry, my sister says she's all right, so we can go home in the morning." Henry said, "We leaving tonight?" "We leaving tonight." "Oh," Elvira said, "Henry, clouds are coming up out there, and this here's wintertime, you know. I don't think we ought to be traveling on that road. It's going to get dark before we get home." He said, "We leaving tonight." But, but Henry, you go and hook up Ned. Oh, all right. So she hooked up the wagon and they took off up the road. And sure enough, it started to snow. The snow turned to sleet, and the sleet turned to cold rain, and the rain turned into icicles on Elvira's nose. Elvira started to complain to Henry. Henry, my nose is cold. My ears are cold. And my toes are even cold. This wagon's getting hard. I can't ride on it much longer. And Henry said, Sick, sick, get on up there, Ned. Quiet your mouth, Elvira. Sick, sick, get on up there. Oh, Henry, don't do me this. I'm cold, she said. There ain't no way in the world we can get home. See how the ice is standing up on that mule's back? We're going to freeze to death, and that old mule is going to die right where he's standing. Oh, Henry, please let's stop, Elvira said. Get up there, Ned. Sick, get up, get up. You be quiet, Elvira. Oh, Henry, I'm telling you, I'm cold. Just as the wagon rounded a curve in the road, there up on a hill stood a great big old house. And every light was on in the house. Elvira said, Henry, look, there's a house. Let's stop there. Let's stop there. Elvira, do you know who lives there? No, Henry, I don't know. Well, I don't either, and I ain't stopping. Oh, Henry, my nose is cold, and my ears, oh, all right, woman. And Henry pulled the mule to a screeching halt. Whoa there, mule, he says. Now listen, Elvira, go in there and find out if we can sleep in the barn or in front of the fireplace and find out where to put this old mule tonight. But Henry, I don't know them folks. You do it. Do you want to stay here? Yes, she said. Well, you do it then, he said. And Elvira said, well then, you find somewhere to put that old mule and then you come on in. Henry said, all right. And Elvira leaped down from the wagon. Henry said, get up there, Ned, and pulled away. Elvira went up to the door. It was a big old door. She'd never seen a door so big. She raised her hand and she knocked. Boom, boom, boom. Somewhere in the back of the house she heard, come in. Elvira said, somebody's in there. She turned the huge doorknob and pushed the door open. Oh, that door hadn't been opened in a long time. Elvira stepped inside. There was nobody there to greet her. She said, hello, is anybody home? I'm coming in. Is it all right? But nobody said a word. So she said again, hello, hello, hello. She walked down the long hallway looking from one room to the other. There was nobody there, but the house was warm and light and bright, and all of a sudden she smelled food cooking. She looked to her right, and there was a dining room with a table fit for a king. There was a turkey, and there was a ham and biscuits and cakes and pies and a big pot of steaming hot coffee. Oh, Elvira said, I'm tasting your supper. But nobody said a word, so she lifted the cup and pot and poured herself a cup of coffee. Oh, it smelled so good. It smelled so good, and it was so hot. She quickly lifted the cup up to her lips. As she placed her lips on the brim of the cup, she saw a door on the other side of the room. She stopped, put the cup back in the saucer, and took it with her as she went to the door. Just before she pushed the door open, she remembered the noise the other door made, so she pushed this one quickly. Eark! It hadn't been opened lately either. She looked around the room. There on the wall were shelves and shelves and shelves of books. In the back of the room, there was a huge fireplace with a nice hot blazing fire. In front of the fireplace were two great big comfortable chairs. And in front of the chairs were two pairs of nice warm slippers. Elvira took off her coat and threw it down by the fireplace, kicked off her wet shoes, and then slipped her toes into a pair of the slippers. Then she cried out, "I'm here!" But still, nobody said a word. Again, she lifted her coffee cup and sipped slowly, when all of a sudden she heard footsteps. Henry? Henry? Is that you, Henry? The footsteps stopped behind her chair. A voice said, "Good evening, madam." Now that's when you know you're in real trouble. When Hanks and things start calling you madam and sir. Elvira said, "Henry, that ain't you, is it?" And she turned slowly, and there standing behind Elvira was a very, very handsomely dressed gentleman in a black silk suit, long black leather boots, and a fancy frock tail coat. There was only one thing wrong. Just one. He didn't have no head. Elvira said, "Boy, who are you?" And the headless Hank spoke. "Madam, so many years ago, I opened my home to two people, just like you and your husband. I gave them hot food to eat and a nice warm place. But because I didn't show them where I hid my gold, they killed me. They cut off my head. They buried my head in one part of the cellar and my body in the other. I have kept this house alive and well, waiting for two nice people like you and your husband to help me get myself together again, if you know what I mean, so I can rest for eternity." Elvira said, "Ooh, but I don't know nothing about finding heads. I ain't never had to do that." At that moment, she heard Henry coming in. "Oh," said Henry, "finally found a place to put that old mule. Ooh, it's cold out there." He stopped. "Whoa! Who is that?" She said, "That's the man that owns this house." She said, "Henry, sure enough, that's the man that owns this house." "How do you know this?" asked Henry. Elvira says, "Henry, he told me so." "What did he tell you with? I don't see a mouth. I don't even see a head to hold a mouth." Elvira said, "Shh, he'll tell you." And sure enough, the headless Hank told Henry the same story he told Elvira. Henry said, "Well, sir, all due respect and all of that to you, and your head and all, but to tell the truth, I ain't never had to find nobody's head." "Sir," said the Hank, "do you see that door?" Henry looked and said, "Yeah, I do." And right after he said that, I said, "Oh, well," I said, "we only got one more page to go." I guess we'll finish this story off. If you go down the stairway behind that door, you will find a pick and a shovel, said the Hank. If you dig beneath the cellar floor, you'll find my head. Just help me get it back on my shoulders so I can rest for eternity. Henry went over and opened the door. Then he quickly slammed it shut. It's dark down there, he said. Oh, I shall provide light for you, said the Hank. He stepped to the fireplace, raised his hand into the air, placed a finger in the flames. He lit the end of his finger, then removed the finger from his hand and handed it to Henry. Henry said, well, thank you, sir. He did the same with the other hand, removed the lit finger and handed the candle to Elvira. Wah! Elvira said, thank you. Elvira and Henry took their candles down the stairs, found the pick and the shovels, and dug for the rest of the night. Just before the sun rose, they found that old Hank's head and placed it back on his shoulders. As he adjusted himself once again into his head, he said to Elvira and Henry, I thank you both for helping me get myself together again. Ha ha! As a reward, I want you to have this house and all the land, and if you will dig in back of the old oak tree in the backyard, you will find my gold. It's yours. And Elvira and Henry lived happily ever after, and that is the end of that. And so you see, one good turn does deserve another. One good turn does deserve another. And that's another proverb for you for tonight. So go ahead and put that in your pipe and smoke it if you're old enough to do so. If not, then all I need y'all to do is to take your little head and lay it on your little pillow on your little bed while you close those your eyes and wait on that sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you know that it's time for you to rise and shine, oh children of mine. And in the meantime, all you old folks out there need to do what you need to do. Because one good turn does deserve another. And I've been giving up all these stories like a headless Hank for days and days and days and days. And I do it for free. It all comes from me and it's going to you. And I gave you more than just a few. So all I need you to do now is take a clue and go ahead and do some of the same for us. Go ahead and make a small donation to the cause. You know how to do it. Just go to our website, www.blakfacts. Hit the donation button at the top of the page and go ahead and make your donation now. You can do it anyhow. You don't need a cash app. No need to get hat in the flap. All you need to do is use any of your debit or your credit cards. It won't be very hard. You can do it right now. You can do it anyhow. So if you don't mind, if you could do that for us tonight, we'd be most appreciative, because we only got one more day or so left in our monthly fundraising campaign. So we're coming right on down to the wire, and we are trying to continue to help you achieve your heart's desire as we come down to that wire. So go ahead, make a donation right now. It's not quite free, but it will be painless. Okay? It will definitely be painless. And in the meanwhile, we're out. This is Doc Ock at noon and 9, signing off. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories from the book, The Fences Between by Norma Marceray. That's right. We're going to be telling more stories from Norma Marceray about life in Kent, Ohio. It's all about a black homecoming. Look for that tomorrow at noon, and we'll be back tomorrow night with more scary stories just for you. Peace out without a doubt, y'all. With justice, of course. Because anything less ain't even a horse of a different color. It's just something that disgusts us. Because you got to have some justice.